A very good morning to you all. I am Dr. Anindya Sundar Polley, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Munger University, Munger. Today, I shall be talking about sonnet and I shall be discussing Shakespeare's sonnet number 146. So, before I begin with the text, let me talk a little about sonnet. The name sonnet comes from the Italian term sonetto, which means a short poem. The concept of sonnet was popularized by Francesco Petrarch, Giovanni Boccaccio and Dante Alighieri. Those are Italian sonnettiers, and the important theme of their sonnets are love, the beautification of the lady love, and so on. In those sonnets, they used to treat their lady love as immortal goddess, and they try to immortalize their beauty to a large extent. The distinct nature of Italian sonnet is their rhyme scheme. There are two parts in Italian sonnets. One is octave, another part is sestet. Octave, that is the first stanza, which is of 8 lines, consists of the rhyme scheme A B A B A B B A A B B A C D E C D E A B B A. The first line is rhyming with the fourth line, second line is rhyming with the third line. This goes on and on. Similarly, when sonnet was being popularized in Italy, it was well attracted by the other poets all over the globe, especially in England. Famous British sonnettiers Sir Thomas Watt and Henry Howard, the Earl of Surrey, they were so much impressed seeing Petrarchan sonnet, they have incorporated the ideas to England. Watt and Surrey collectively prepared a group of sonnets. It was published later as Tortoise Miscellany, and they have followed the entire Italian tradition of sonnet writing. Later, in the hands of other important sonnettiers in England like Sir Philip Sidney, Edmund Spenser, and most notably William Shakespeare, they have managed the sonnet form. They have changed various aspects of sonnets and they have changed the form. Especially Shakespeare. Shakespeare has started, he has written around 154 sonnets, and which were dedicated to young man and dark lady. And while the Italian sonnets are written on the concept of love, eternalization of lady love's beauty, Shakespeare explored various diverse themes like lust, homoeroticism, misogyny, infidelity, and acrimony. He has also written several religious sonnets, and this sonnet number 146, which we are going to study today, is one of those religious sonnets. So, and he has changed the tradition of the form in sonnets, where he has used that instead of that octet sestet format, he has introduced 3 quartets and a couplet format. That means there should be 4-line stanza, there should be 3 4-line stanzas and 1 couplet, that means 2-line stanzas. And he has also changed the rhyme scheme. Instead of ABBA, ABBA, CD, CDE, he has started ABAB, CD, EFEF, GG format. That means first line rhymes with the third line, second line rhymes with the fourth line, fifth line rhymes with the seventh line, sixth with the 8th line, and goes on and on. So this particular sonnet, which we are going to read today, is of that kind of rhyme scheme. AB, CD, EF, EF, GG. Okay, so let's see what the poem reads like. Poor soul, the center of my sinful earth. Poor soul, these rebel powers that thee array, why dost thou pine within and suffer dearth, painting thy outward world so costly gay? Why so large cost, having so short a lease, dost thou upon thy fading mansions paid, Shall worms, inheritors of this excess, eat up thy large, eat up thy church? Is this thy body's end? Then soul, live thou upon the servant's loss, and let that pine to aggravate thy store. By terms divine, in selling hours of dross, within be fed, without be rich no more. So shalt thou feed on death that feeds on man, and death once dead, there is no more dying then. So, the sonnet, if we study it more closely, we can see the sonnet talks about two aspects. One is the inner soul, and other is the outer body. Here he has compared the inner soul, which is the most prominent part of our body, of our beings. Okay, and body is very secondary, because body dies after some time, and we cannot preserve the body forever and ever. What he is trying to point out here in the first stanza, he says, poor soul, thy center of my sinful earth. So earth is compared with the body. And why he is saying, why dost thou pine within and suffer dearth? He points out, we keep proper attention towards our inner soul and not towards, we keep proper attention towards our body and not towards our inner soul. Because we think like painting the walls, it's compared to the painting of the walls. It's like in the building where we stay, we keep on painting the building, but we do not do proper attention towards the inner soul, the inner structure, the person who are actually living in the building. So he has given several metaphors. This building is one of those metaphors, and through this metaphor he is trying to say that we should not pay much attention to the building where we live. Instead, we should keep proper attention to the person, actually, the soul here. Here, he has pointed out that after our death, our body should go to the grave. Because of their Christian, they are being cremated, and their body will become decomposed in few days, and it will prey of the worms. So, and they will inherit this body. So the body has no value at all. The value which is there in this place is our soul, and we should keep proper attention to the soul, not the body. Throughout the poem, throughout the three quatrains here, he has tried to convey the same message again and again. In the third quatrain, he tries to say, then soul, live thou upon thy servant loss, and let that pine to aggravate thy store. So here the body is the servant, because whatever the soul feels like doing, it instructs the body to do the same. And the body, just like the servant, does the purpose of the soul. He tries to mean that we should not grieve for the servant's loss. I mean, after the death, the body is gone. That's the loss on part of the soul. But he is trying to convey the fact that we should not keep proper attention to the body. Instead, we should keep thinking about our soul, about the purification of the soul, and how it should actually channelize our inner building, our structure of the sin, structure of the soul he talks about. So at the end quatrain, he tries to point out that thou feed on death that feeds on man. Death is something which takes everything from us, our body, but it cannot touch our soul. And once dead, he points out, after having the body, death has no power at all. It cannot harm our soul. So we should pay more attention to our soul than towards the body. This is the gist of the poem which I have dealt here. And in this poem, there are other things. For example, structurally, it's a kind of monologue. Monologue means, it's a person talking to the inner self. Essentially, the poet's person is speaking to himself here, and the speaker is addressing his soul as the inner self. Okay, so here he has extensively used this house metaphor, where we should live and where we as an individual should keep our attention. Here the inner divine values he talks about, it will never fade with the course of time, while our body fades away after our death. So this religious fervor is actually reverberating throughout the poem, and this makes this poem very useful for our knowledge and also for our inner wisdom. Thank you.